video that's definitely not going to come out for a while for me. Like, I'm filming this before I actually go away to Hong Kong because I have my thoughts and feelings ready, but this book doesn't come out for like another week, so I can't really upload it before I go, and I wanted to film it now so the feelings are fresh in my mind when I'm talking about it. So this video will be uploaded after I get back, so if anything's like different, it's just because I filmed this nearly 3 weeks before I was actually going to post it. But I'm here to do my book review for Supernova by Marissa Meyer, and Pan Macmillan sent me this book to review for them, and I'm so thankful that they did because I was so excited to get this book, and I gave it 5 stars because this was a good conclusion. I enjoyed most of it, and like, yes, these books are quite long, but by this stage I've gotten used to that. The first book I put down to 4 stars because it was too long, and then I think I did that for the second one as well. But honestly, everything that was happening in this book was just so exciting, and I enjoyed it so much, even though most of the time I was screaming because there was just too much going on. But I really enjoyed how this finished up. I still feel like I want another book though. Like, this is over, but it's ended in a way that we need more. But I'm going to get into this review, and as this is the 3rd book in this trilogy, there will be spoilers for obviously book 1 and book 2, but also spoilers for book 3 because I need to get into everything. One of my favorite things about this trilogy though is it really makes you think. Like, it's not just black and white, hero and villain. There is a lot of grey in this world, and like, not everyone is gonna be bad and not everyone is gonna be good, but most people are just mixed. You can be a good person and make bad decisions, but you can also be a bad person and make good decisions. It just depends on who you are and what you do, and this book has honestly made me question so many things in my life, and not just the superhero stuff in this book, but just general things where I'm like, you know what, now that this book has put this issue up to me, even though it's been covered up with superpower issues, there are still issues in the world where we really got to think some things through, that this book has just done it in such a great way, and it just shines a light on love of superheroes. And this book series is just so unique because like, there's never really been that many good books that have done superheroes well, except I guess if they do spin-off comics of the Marvel stories and such. This is actually a YA series that has actually done superheroes well. Like, there's a lot of magic in the fantasy and supernatural and paranormal and all that, but not a lot of just plain old superheroes. But we start basically where Arch Enemies ended. Ace has been captured and Nova's freaking out. She doesn't think she's got long until everyone figures out that she's Nightmare, and it felt just so high strung in the first half of this book because I'm like, they're gonna figure out it's her, they're gonna figure it out, and they're gonna like kill her or something. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're all gonna figure it out, and then everyone's gonna turn on her, and it's gonna be horrible. And basically the main part of this book was we have to get Ace out, but how are we gonna do it? I love seeing all the different ideas they had and trying to just figure out what they can actually do, because this is just such a shit thing. But after Nightmare was able to get Ace's helmet back and she rendered 3 of the renegades neutralized with Agent N, the whole society of renegades here is panicking. There is no turning back once you use Agent N on someone. Like, once your powers are gone, they're gone. There is no cure. And the fact that they have this out in the world is just shit, because what if you do it by accident? Like, you shoot your friend by accident, or you accidentally shoot someone who isn't actually the villain. You have ruined their lives because you have taken their abilities, and all you're going to be is all like, oh, tough luck. That is just wrong. And to have that power to choose if people get to have what they've been born with or what they've been traumatized into receiving, it doesn't make sense. Agent N is such a fucking shit thing, and it's been just at the back of my mind since book 2. It's gonna end horribly if it's getting into the wrong hands, or something bad's gonna happen, or the council just starts shooting people. So many possibilities that could happen with having this substance, and it just never should have been made. So it doesn't take long at all for everyone to figure out who Nova is, because Dana finally gets to morph back into a butterfly form, and she's all like, yo, Nova's Nightmare, and Adrian and everyone just suddenly goes, whoa, bitch, and they chop her into the prison where Ace is. So she gets to see her uncle, she can't do much, and while she's in there she keeps saying, I don't know what you guys are talking about, I'm not Nightmare. So she is gonna go to the end here with this secret, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, what is gonna happen here? Because you're in prison now, like, this is the end, you are just stuck. And like, it was always going to come out, but I just secretly hoped that no one would ever find out, or she could at least tell them, like, yo, it's me, instead of it being like found out, which would have been so much better. And also the Renegades Council decides that they're going to execute Nova and her uncle because they're bad guys, and there's not even a trial, not even a jury, nothing. It's just their rule is the law. They've got too much power, and like, yes, they are seen as the good guys, but there needs to be a fine line between taking it too far. And like the fact that they're just like, we're gonna kill yous and then we're gonna neutralize all the other people, like Agent N has made them too power hungry hungry. And it's the worst thing too is they don't see it. Like even later Nova makes a speech about it where she's just like, how in the hell can you think that this is the right thing to do? Like you should let people know what's happening. Like this should be stopped. And they're all like, oh, our decision's final. And I'm like, you guys suck. All I gotta say is thank God Honey and Leroy figure out a plan to get Nova out of there by making it seem like she isn't Nightmare, because Narcissia, I think that's her name, but she was a character in the first book. Her grandfather was the librarian dude that died in the first book, and she wanted to like kill Nova, but then she realized they should work together, but she's a mirror walker, so she pretends to be Nova, and everyone believes it, and Adrian's all like, oh my god, like I don't know how I didn't believe you, like I'm so sorry I didn't love you. And I'm like, dude, such a sucker. And like Dana's still there like, nah, you're a bitch, like you're that bitch. And then, you know, we're just like kind of chilling for a little bit, and then it comes to the time that Ace has to get executed. Nova knows that she has to stop this, so they're all like in the big arena that they use for the Renegade trials, and everyone's there, and they're all chilling, and they're all about to be neutralized, and they inject them with the needles, and nothing happens. And Nova's priority is to get the helmet to Ace to fix him so that he can like get out of there and everything's fine again. But they have this idea that to get to him they need to put everyone to sleep, so they made this sleeping potion to inject everyone with by using Honey's bees to sting them and use the potion. But no, they put Agent N, and literally more than half of them lose their power. All hell broke loose, man. Everyone was getting stung, people were losing their control over beasts, over flying, over weather. Like you were seeing all their stuff fall off. Like I was so concerned. I was not expecting it, but it was so epic, but so horrible, but epic, but horrible. But like, oh god. And like delusional powers is the absolute hardest thing, because it's what makes you you, and it's like something that people have used as a crutch, so for it to suddenly not be there anymore can make people just lose their mind. But Ruby gets stung by a bee, Simon gets stung by a bee, Callum just fucking dies because he puts the helmet on because he's trying to like make everyone feel optimistic, and he stops it for a second, and then Phobia comes in and just like slashes him with his scythe, and then they finally get the helmet to Ace, and then this big battle ensues, and Captain Cronian's trying to stop it, and they're all fighting, and then Blacklight was murdered. That was devastating. I wasn't even sure who he was, because like the council is a big thing, but we don't really get to know them much as people, and like he just had a chain around his neck, and he just died, and I was like, oh god. And Tsunami lost their powers. Like the council is just gone, man. It's just gone, and it's just, it's happening, and Nova's sitting there like, what have I done? Because Ace is just ready to kill everyone in that arena, and I was like, it's too much. Oh, and then everyone finally figures out that Adrian is the Sentinel, and then no one even cares. Like just for the fact that so much bad shit just happened, I think everyone was just like, okay, we'll deal with this later, it doesn't really matter. But it took long enough, man. I knew that Ruby and Oscar and Dana knew about it, but still, it's just like, of course the two major character reveals had to happen in this book, but it was just so long that this took for it to happen that I tried to be a big thing. But I think just the fact that everyone just got neutralized really took away from the reveal of him being the Sentinel, even though we've known the whole time. Not everyone else knew. And I just gotta say now, since I read the first book, I have been of the opinion that Adrian and Nova shouldn't get together. Like, this book could have been great if there was no romance. And like, it's fine that there is, but I've just always felt that they weren't going to work out together. They've both been keeping these huge secrets, so their relationship's basically been a whole lie. And to come back from that, to like be able to trust each other when again you've been lying forever. And it just doesn't make sense that they forgive each other so easily. And they're all in love, and I'm just like, bleh. Their reveals were meant to be so cool, and it kind of really wasn't. And I feel like just the way they reacted to it was just like not even anything. Like they were just like, oh, that shit kind of attitude. Like, oh, there should have been more. Oh my god, though, Ruby and Oscar finally got together, and it was so cute. Like, Oscar's been trying to tell her for so long, and they kissed, and they're in love, and it was just like, you know, he told her right at the end of the battle, and it was just like, oh, they love each other, so cute. And oh my god, major plot twist, but Adrian created Phobia. I didn't see this coming. Like, what? So he used to draw his nightmare creature when he was younger, and one of the times it just came out of the page. Adrian didn't know. And what makes this even worse is Phobia is the one that killed his mother. So Adrian literally created the murderer that killed his mother. Like, there is a lot of baggage there, man. There's a lot to unpack for him later on. But like, what in the fuck? What? Like, how did I even see this? Because like, you know, he always said the quote and he just appeared out of nowhere and just, like, it is so, like, I didn't see this coming. I see a lot of things coming, but this I did not see coming. And then Adrian injects himself with Agent N, and then Phobia disappears because Ollie's drawing disappears. And that was an intense scene, and I'm like, Adrian, you did it. And like, we get to the final battle and it's all unsure, like, oh, is Nova gonna be on our side or is she not gonna be? Like, obviously she was gonna pick the Renegades because she ended up loving being with them and it was all happy, and Ace was just being really shit. Like, he needed to be stopped because she thought him having his powers back he would just be happy, but all he wanted was revenge. It makes sense, you know, like, you don't want to bring that out into the world, and it happened, and she was just like, well, I gotta try and stop this. But he starts to demolish the city and like bringing up buildings, and he's like, I'm gonna wreck the whole place and start new. And like, he's got so much power, he's got way too much power, and like, they are all throwing everything they have at him, but the dude just won't die. And then Max pops in and he starts fighting, and he kind of like makes a bit of leeway, but Nova's the one that ends up giving him the final blow because she comes in and injects him with Agent N. That was a very powerful scene, and I'm really glad it was Nova that was the one that ended up stopping him. Like, yes, Captain Chronium did chuck his spirit in and he toppled off and died. It was still really good that Nova was the one that was able to like stop this. And then we get to like the whole city's falling and everyone's like, ah! And then Max puts the helmet on and he rebuilds the city, and then he literally takes all the powers in the world and absorbs them. And I feel this would have been a great ending, you know. It ends where no one has powers anymore, there's no superheroes anymore, and they're all gonna learn how to rebuild and get together and make it all a good place. That didn't happen. What happened is Max, there was too much power, so he kind of made this supernova that expelled out of him, and then every single person in the whole entire world has powers now. So this just shows that it's not going to be special anymore to have powers when literally everyone and their mum will have powers now. It was like a bit of a letdown, I feel, because it's all like, oh, even though we all just lost our powers in the biggest battle ever, oh, we just got them back now, it's fine. And like, it does end well. Everyone has the ability to save themselves now. They don't really need to have the Renegades Council and Renegades headquarters. Like, there'll still be a council, but everything's going to be a lot different now. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, but I still feel the alternate ending of having it end where no one has powers anymore and we're just going to rebuild and move on would have been better. Someone needs to hold me, but like, the fucking biggest thing happened at the end of this book, right? So Magpie is Nova's little sister. She's Evie. Like, she didn't fucking die. Like, what? I didn't know the book, because how can you end it where it's got her point of view for the last chapter and she's walking around and then she talks about how she was shot as a baby, her parents died, her sister disappeared, she's been holding this bullet, so literally her little sister has been around her this whole entire trilogy, and Nova has felt so much guilt over her family dying to know that her sister's right there. And they totally up the sister-sister bond by hating each other, and like, her sister was like gravitating towards her bracelet, and just, how did they not see that they looked alike? Like, I don't understand, because like, that was her sister. Oh my god, like, I don't know why you would end it like that, because we didn't get a resolve. They didn't see each other. They never figured it out. We need another book about Evie, and bloody Marissa Meyer better write it. Like, she better give us an epilogue sequel kind of shit here, because I think Magpie may actually end up liking Max as well, and they might start dating. So hopefully she will write a book that's maybe like 5 years in the future, and then we might have like a new kind of like look and see how the world's going, and maybe new villains. Like, this part of the story might be over, but she's her sister. Like, this is just the biggest reveal ever. Like, this is even worse than Phobia, and I can't even talk to anyone about it because I read this book early. She's killed me with this book. I just enjoyed it so much, but even though it ripped my heart out so many times and I was like so close to tears when I was like, Magpie, like, I'm never gonna get over that. Oh, this is just, I highly recommend these books so much. They're so good, and just, oh, I had to give it 5 stars. It was just such a good ending to the book, like, as a whole. It wasn't even like that boring. Like, there was quiet bits, but they were really important to the story. So, oh, I just loved this. I loved it so much. I'm just so glad I got to read this. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed my book review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!